A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth. But if salt becomes tasteless, what can make it salt again? It is good for nothing and can only be thrown out to be trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city built on hilltop cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp to put it under a tub. They put it on the lampstand, where it shines for everyone in the house. In the same way, your light must shine in the sight of men, so that seeing your good ways, they may give the praise to your Father in heaven." The Gospel of the Lord.
As the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You alone are my strength, my
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, today we are celebrating the Mass of Tuesday in the 10th week of Ordinary Time of the year. And the theme of our reflection today will be trusting God in times of scarcity and becoming light for others. Trusting God in times of scarcity and becoming light for others. I will start with a story. There's a story of a poor widow who lived in a small village. One day, a hungry traveler knocked on her door asking for food. She looked at the little food she had left for herself and her children. Every instinct told her to keep it, yet something moved her heart to share the food with the hungry traveler. Surprisingly, after giving away what she had, help arrived from unexpected sources, and her family never lacked again. This story reminds us of the first reading today, the widow of Zarephath. A severe drought has struck the land. The widow of Zarephath had only a handful of flour and a little oil left in her house. She was preparing what she was believed would be her last meal for her life and her child. Then the prophet Elijah appeared and asked her to feed him first. I was asking myself, if I am the woman and Elijah said, "Feed me first," since I have the only food I have in my house, how will I react to the prophet Elijah? Humanly speaking, Elijah's request seemed unreasonable. Yet, the widow, trusted God's words spoken through the prophets. She gave from her poverty, not from her abundance. Because in her faith, God performed a miracle. If you remember in 1 Kings 17 verse 16, it says, "The jar of oil was not empty, neither did the jar of meal empty. Many times we don't believe in God. The woman teaches us that faith is often tested precisely when our resources seem insufficient. Faith is tested when your resources seem insufficient. God does not always ask us to give from our surpluses. He asks us to give from when our resources is insignificant. Sometimes he asks us to trust him with what little we have. Whether it is our time, whether it is our money, our talents, our forgiveness, or our love, God can multiply whatever we place in his hands. In today's gospel, Jesus says to his disciples, he said, "You are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth." Salt preserves food and gives it flavor. Light drives away darkness and helps people find their way. Jesus is telling us that every Christian has a mission. We are not called to hide our faith, but to let it shine through our actions. The widow of Zarephath became a light without realizing it. Her act of generosity reveals God's presence and power. Likewise, every act of kindness, charity, honesty, forgiveness becomes a light that points others to God. Today, many people live with different kind of scarcity. Not only financial scarcity, but also loneliness, hope, peace, and faith. As disciples of Christ, we are called to bring God's light into this situation. A simple word of encouragement, a helping hand, a prayer for someone in need, or a generous heart can become a channel of God's grace. Jesus concludes